Hey, this is me building and strategizing a $2 million a year business in public. Last month, I made 128K in profits. Next month, I want to hit 167K. And the way that this typically works is I start by just doing some viewer Q&A. Then I move on to some brand stats, so we see my growth over the last 24 hours. Then I wrap it up with a little bit of daily strategy, aka what I'm currently working on. So daily updates channel is blowing the hell up. We are now at 601 subscribers, which is cool. But more importantly than that, I'm just getting a ton of comments, and I love this level of engagement. It's fantastic. So I really appreciate it, and I'm going to continue, giving back by trying to answer as many of these questions as possible. I'm going to do this whiteboard, maybe I should say blackboard style, over here on my Excalibur, but it's getting a little long, so I can just work my way down and see if we can still make this work. Okay, awesome. Yes, we can. So do our QA here. We'll zoom way in over there. And that is not the question. These are the questions. So Sinatra Foreign says, Nick, have you ever made a video about paid ads for your automation agency? I don't see any ads related to that on Meta often. Do you think this is a viable lead generation strategy compared to, say, cold emails or even Upwork? For comparison, Sinatra Foreign used to run a web design agency, and it costs around $20 a day to get good, consistent results, in Australia at least. But the way that I look at it, this is for a website. Everyone knows what a website is, so it's easier to sell since it's already an established concept compared to automations. Let me know your thoughts on it. Yeah, so it's interesting that you point that out. I guess that's probably a measure of buyer intent right there. Like, odds are if you're searching for the term, I mean, I know you're saying meta, but yeah, because you know what a website is, because you've already conceptualized the value of a website, it's a little bit more mature of a market. You don't need to do as much of a job explaining it to people. You can basically just say, hey, my websites are better because of X, Y, and Z. You already know what the product is. You can do that, in a sense with automations as well. But you can't really do that with like automation services in general. You have to do specific ones. So specific automations, lead gen automations, proposal generator automations, CRM automations, that sort of stuff. Anyway, if you're asking if I've ever thought about paid ads for my own automation agency, yeah, I'm pretty sure I experimented with this right around the time that I got up and running, and I didn't see too many results. The reason why is because I'm probably just not very good at paid ads in general, which is why I've pushed the vast majority of my work to outbound, at least initially. And now that I'm sort of doing inbound, I don't really need paid ads. Although I am considering doing a retargeting campaign just out of transparency, where I retarget people that visited the Maker's School About page and then just try and follow them around the internet with my YouTube ads and, Facebook ads and stuff like that. So $20 a day to get good results, that's pretty great. Not gonna lie. I don't know, mathematically, what was the customer lifetime value of these websites? $20 a day, $600 a month realistically. I'm assuming you're advertising on weekends like most people do. Then that's, one website realistically. I don't know what your cogs are. I imagine they're probably pretty high, unless you have an agency with a bunch of staff members underneath you. But, $600, and if we're talking Australian dollars here, I know that's even less. $600 a month is great. So yeah, I am hiring somebody right now to do some retargeting ads for me. We're looking to spend probably $1,500 a month ish. I will see how that goes. But it's a good question for sure. Okay, Brendan has another great question. He says, is there any reason you don't sell courses, but instead put the content behind the paid community? Wouldn't it be less stressful to sell courses while constantly updating and practicing your craft, of course, rather than managing a community? No, I don't really think so. I think courses are earlier on in the evolution of this business model. The way that I see it, okay, it started with courses. Then people started providing done for you templates and stuff like that. It was way back in the day. But then if we just zoom all the way to present day, that's my really shitty graph. Basically, we've now evolved to this community model. And the community model is much preferred, I don't know, let's say 2000. This is 2018, 2012, 2006. Okay, obviously these are wrong, but you get the point I'm trying to make. We've evolved from courses and templates and accelerators and incubators to this community model for low to mid-ticket stuff, specifically because it bundles in all of the positive functionality that you get out of courses and templates to begin with. So if you think about the value of a community, what you get is you get courses, right? You get templates. You get coaching. It's not usually one-on-one coaching, but it's still coaching. You get Q&A. You get networking. All of these, every one of these items, these used to be separate. And now They're just containerized into one package that does it all for you. You used to have to pay separately for courses. You used to have to pay separately for templates. You used to have to pay separately for coaching, for Q&A, and even for networking events. Now you just get them all, right? It's kind of under this big umbrella. Now, this is benefit to the customer, okay? But benefit for me, or benefit for the creator, if we just be blunt here, I think just had some music switch up or something, so give me a sec. The benefit for the creator, on the other hand, is we get MRR. So it's just literally this one big line item. To be honest, it's like the best in the whole wide world. Why is MRR so awesome? Because like think about it, if you like sell a course, it's like, I don't know, $200 a pop. They get a little spike in revenue, but the next month it goes back down to zero for that person. But with the community, you can charge, I don't know, let's say $66 a month. And in month 1, you get a little bit. Month 2, you get more. Month 3, you get more. And it's a lot more dependable and reliable of a revenue generation strategy, I find. And then the benefit there is the second that you start getting into this area where you have like recurring revenue in some way, you start making your business a little more sellable. Now, I don't know how many school communities are realistically going to be sold over the course of the next few years. I mean, the whole concept's relatively new. But I just want you to think about it. Like what sort of business is more attractive to a potential investor? Is it a business where, you're making $66 per month per new person with a churn of a year, right? That's a lot more consistent than it is if it's like, oh, I make $200 per person, but after that first spike, they go way down. Realistically, the first business model, the revenue one, your revenue might go up or might go down 15 to 20% per month, and that's with like crazy growth or crazy churn. Whereas in the one-time course model, your revenue might go up or down 100%, which is just insane, and it's kind of difficult to justify an investment. Obviously, business owners like that more as well because then they just know how much money they have to spend next month. They understand sort of like the trajectory of their business and stuff like that. They know that, they're only going to go like this as opposed to this. And this is a lot more attractive. All right. That is Brendan. And yeah, great questions, man. Honestly, these are all fantastic. Soaring Skies 0015 says, I'm wondering, what advice do you have to a college student interested in starting an AI agency? How do I begin? I found myself going down the YouTuber rabbit hole, but don't ever feel motivated to start. Well, Soaring Skies 0015, the unfortunate reality is there is no, I don't ever feel motivated to start. The motivation that you'll feel for stuff like this, whether it's this business model or anything else, this is all very temporary, okay? Like motivation is fleeting. Motivation just comes in the middle of the night when you're not really expecting it. And then you stay up all night watching YouTube motivational anime reels or whatever. At least that's what I used to do. But it's not something that you can realistically, reliably depend on day to day. And if you really want to grow a business, you need to kind of get away from the idea of motivation and just start working towards discipline. It's not all or nothing. Just like that graph that I showed you guys a moment ago, right? It's not all up and down. Okay. What it really is, it's like very small, slight accumulations of progress over time. And if you just slowly and slightly add a little bit on a daily basis, eventually you make it. The same parallels exist in basically anything, like muscle building at the gym. This is a great example of it. Would you rather do 10,000 bicep curls today? Would you rather do 60 bicep curls every 2 days for the next year? Which one do you think is realistically going to result in more growth? Obviously, the one where you give yourself a little bit of time to breathe. You might be really motivated. Maybe you can do 10,000 bicep curls today, but is that a winning, sustainable strategy? No. So I know that you're in college, and back when I was in college, it was very difficult for me to conceptualize stuff on like multi-year timescales, but this is really just like the most important thing is just building accountability and building habits, as opposed to not feeling motivated to start. I would find the simplest possible thing that you could do today, the simplest possible thing, which might be creating an Upwork profile or recording a Loom video of one of your automations or something that takes you 15 minutes max. Okay, maybe Upwork profile will take more than 50 minutes, but you get the point. And I would just do that today. And then I would try doing that tomorrow as well. Then I would try keeping that up for about a week or so. If you focus on the consistency of discipline as opposed to, the fleeting motivation of dreams and so on and so forth, when you look back in a month, you'll have done 100 times the work that you realistically could have if you just relied on these big fluctuations in your personal emotional state. So that's my recommendation to you. How would I actually go up and running with this? Yeah, so I'd focus on lead generation first and foremost. Get yourself some skills, obviously. If you haven't finished my main channel's make.com for people that want to make real money playlist, then check that out. Make sure to watch that until the end. But if you have, sorry, not the end. Make sure to watch at least like the first 12 videos. If you put in at least like a dozen hours in there, just start doing lead generation activities like Upwork profiles, setting up your cold email campaigns. If you have a little bit of pocket change available, sign up to Maker School. We'll guide you through that whole process. So hopefully that helps, Soren Sky 0015. I have a bunch of crying emojis from Juan Jones. Thank you, my man. Phil Glover says, I wish your video gets millions of views because you have great content. Try running ads for your channel using some kind of system. Yeah. So this is exactly what I'm going to do for sure. I've been dragging my feet on the ad stuff, but I'm working with somebody now. So hopefully they're going to do a reasonable job. And if they don't, I know retargeting is the way to do it for sure. Just because I've worked with a lot of people in the coaching space, and like the stories behind revenue are always hilarious. It's like, yeah, like we were growing like this, then we started retargeting, and then we grew like this. So that big spike here is basically entirely because of retargeting. And I think if I don't adjust a single thing in my funnel and I just add retargeting to it, I could probably easily, 1.5x. So that's the next thing. Okay. Another question from Brendan. He says, have a great trip, Nick. Thank you, man. Halifax has been awesome so far. The only unfortunate thing is the recording setup's kind of mid. Like, I don't know if you guys could tell, my face just like super dark and stuff, which I don't really like. I like there to be a good separation between foreground and background. And just the way that I'm set up, I don't really have too much room in this little studio-esque area in the bedroom that I'm in. So there's just not really anything else I can do. And it's kind of uncomfortable. I'm kind of leaning to one side and shit. But to be honest, it's been gorgeous here so far. Beautiful, bright, sunny day outside. The weather has been fantastic for Canada, I should say. And I'm looking forward to spending the rest of the week and a half here. Quick question on Upwork. Is it too saturated to start over there now due to the inflated connection system? No. Nope. So if you're asking yourself this question, I would just stop and I would get up and running on Upwork as quickly as possible. Make a profile, start doing applications. These are all just stories that realistically you're telling yourself. Like while it's true that there is a certain level of saturation, that doesn't mean that it's too saturated. You're thinking black or white. You're like, oh, it's too hard to start. It's too saturated, whatever. And then, maybe I could make money. But the reality is that it's not black or white. It's a gradient. So there's difficulties as you move over to the left-hand side. And there are benefits and pros when you move over to the right-hand side. But realistically, it's never too hard. It's just harder. It's never too saturated. It's just more saturated. You can make anything work if you try. And Upwork is by far the easiest way. People are saying, oh, it's so hard. Dude, the rate of the number of the number of requests for proposals for automation jobs is outpacing the new entrants into the automation freelancing market on Upwork. I don't have hard stats to back this, obviously, but just based off of my intuition, based off of what I've seen in terms of the number of daily posts that are made, it's like as if, sure, it's growing. This is the growth of the, AI automation agency freelancer space. And then this is the number of jobs that are being posted. Okay. So if anything, it's actually getting better. How do you manage to make proposals every day when each one's at least 10 proposals? So it's not at least all of them. I think on average, it's 8 or something. So it's a little bit less than this. 100 connects are now $15. Yeah, they've been $15 for quite a while. Throw in the always available badge. Sorry, they've been $1.5 per 10 connects for quite a while. Throw in the always available badge and outbits. It runs out pretty darn fast. You're right that if you don't really have too much money, spending $10 to $15 a day can be pretty sizable. But there is basically no easier way to do this or no lower cost way on an iterative day-by-day basis than this approach. Because if you think about it, if you want to do cold email or something, basically, if this is your spend, okay, and this is time, basically what you have to do is you spend nothing, and then all of a sudden when you buy the cold email platform, you got to spend a lot. Okay, it's kind of like this. So there's this big phase change, right? You go from spending $0 to spending, I don't know, $200. $300, whatever. And you have to make a return on that investment. So at some point you're going to be out $200, right? The cool thing about Upwork is Upwork isn't like that at all. Basically, instead of this massive 0 to 1 thing where you're like, oh crap, I really have to make an ROI on this money or I'm totally out. It's more like this. So every day you'll at most be out, this is 0, then this is 10, this is 20. And so because of that, because you're spending such like a little, much smaller but more consistent amount of money on a daily basis, like this, like you can make a return on that investment a lot easier. Instead of you spending $1,000 and trying to make $10,000, you could spend like $20 and try making like $200. Can you see my point? It's almost like a good analogy for this is like the penny stocks or penny slots, I should say. When you go down to the casino, if you try and like do a big hand of blackjack or something, you might be out a few $100, right? But if you do like penny slots, you're only ever out a few bucks at a time. Upwork's kind of like that. It's not a game of chance. It's actually dependent 1-to-1 on your inputs and the quality that you put in. So much more reliable, that's for sure. So no, I don't believe this is true. The cheapest approach is just the community approach. So if you haven't done the community approach, then absolutely get up and running. Just join, 10 communities. Get the 3 most active communities in a niche, like I don't know, videographers or whoever you want to work with, and then just make posts every day for a long enough period of time. Total cost is $0, but it is like many hours a day realistically. If you want to like manage this and do it right, maybe like 2 or 3, might be like 20, 30 hours a week realistically. But that the cost will be $0 unless it's a paid community. And then just build up authority and reputation, start DMing people, start being like the go-to person in a space for something. And it won't cost you any money, but it'll take a lot longer and more time. Okay, I'll answer one more from Hari Gopal. He says, your content always motivates me a lot. I have a quick question. I'm starting as a complete beginner. So what type of service should I provide, or what things should I learn first? Is it building chatbots, AI voice agents, or workflow automation? I'm really confused. Thank you in advance. Yeah, I definitely do workflow automation to start. It's probably like the core upon which everything else rests. I do have a bunch of starter videos for sure, so thank you for that, X-Shot. And thank you for that Glycine Gaming $85.99. That's cool. What's Glycine Gaming come from? It's pretty interesting. I'm more of an L-arginine gamer. No, chatbots, AI voice agents, or workflow automation. Like if you think about it, like you'll add these to a workflow. Okay, but the workflow is like the bed upon which everything else rests. So if you know how to like optimize a workflow, if you know how to like automate a workflow, then you could build this stuff out and it's going to be 100x more valuable. So I would go to like mymake.com for people that want to make real money course, and then just, learn everything you can from that. And then after you're done the first, I don't know, dozen or more videos, which might take you 10 or 15 hours to go through, after you've built a couple of the automations that I have that help you automate workflows, then you can turn around and start offering some services like AI voice agents or chatbots if you really want to. But yeah, that's the core. Okay. Got a couple more positive comments here. I see your question, Nadia. I'll address that tomorrow. I'm just going to heart all the positive ones because thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, Yassine. Really appreciate Buy Smart Wholesaler. Yeah, I'm just going to heart all these so I don't see them tomorrow. I just use my my XP pen. Yeah, it's like a $50 tablet that I buy. Just search XP-pen and you'll be good. What's going on, Reiner? Good to see you here, man. It's one of my best friends. Cute as hell. Like the dog. That's not his dog. He don't have a dog. Thank you, Warren. I see questions from Will. See question from Powell. Great. Awesome. What camera and mic do I use? Samsung Q2U for the microphone. And then the camera is now a Sony A7C, but I got away with Sony A6500 for the longest time. Great question, Sean. I'll get to that as well. Great point. Fostra. Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, I like this. Thank you. Thank you very much for this, the prompted. Great call. I am absolutely 100% shark-minded, Shark Swayze. Let's go, man. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I agree, Sinatra. This is gonna be dope. Cool. So if I haven't got to it today, I'm just gonna work my way through top to bottom. And I really appreciate all the love and I really appreciate all the help. Means a lot, seriously. Okay, let's do some brand stats really quick, and then I'll get into the remainder of my day, which is just a little bit of strategy. And I'm gonna go with my girlfriend. We're gonna do something fun. So last 24 hours on daily updates. They're going to analytics. We got up to 602. That's how much we're at now. So go back here, go 602, 80 subs, baby. That's what I'm talking about. My Instagram, one sec. Let's see here. Is 19,184. Then my main YouTube, I grew quite a bit the other day, I think. 5263. Okay, so I lied. We actually grew very little. I don't entirely know why. Oh, you know what it is? Oh, I got it. It's because I recorded yesterday's video pretty late in the day, and today it's reasonably early. So haven't had that much growth time. Things are chugging along as per usual, right? So I'm going to meet somewhere over here probably, which is about 2.5 times the length of this graph, which is going to be 50 days or so from now, probably. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on if I go mad viral. The Instagram Reel strategy is now starting, which is cool. And just to recap for those of you that don't know, the strategy there is kind of like Iman Gadzhi's strategy. And I'm just repeating this because I really want to understand this myself and really just want to like have fully internalized it, be able to explain it to the people that I'm working with. Basically, instead of just having one Nick Saraev channel that just floats through the ether, then slowly gets distributed to a bunch of people, what I'm planning on doing is I'm having a main channel, Nick Saraev, which is my main one that, like this is daily updates, for instance. So then I'll have a bunch of daily updates, and I'm going to keep this going forever, probably, because it's so great for my accountability. If I just know that I need to record a video today, like it keeps me good at talking. Sometimes I like cloister myself away in my closet for like 3 freaking weeks, and then I come out and I'm like, oh crap, I need to record a video. And then I can like hardly string a sentence together. So that's great, right? I build a ton of momentum there. But then I also get to strategize live, and I get to build an asset while doing so. Okay, but anyway, so this is the strategy. You have a main channel, and then you have a bunch of subsidiary channels. So daily updates, Nick Saraev Reels, okay? I'm just going to use NS now. NS fans. You have Nick Saraev clips. You have Nick Saraev, I don't know, motivation, okay? And generally, all of these tackle a slightly different thing, okay? Like, I don't know, fans will do something different than motivation, which will do something different than clips. And then instead of me pushing my brand out there with just the main thing, which has limited, you know, if there's like 10 spots in the SERP, okay, realistically, I can only ever occupy one of them. SERP stands for a results page of a search engine like YouTube or something. I can only ever occupy one of them, right? What I do is I actually get all of these channels to distribute for me, get tons of people interested, which is what's happening right now. If you think about the daily updates channel, a lot of people are new. They haven't actually seen my main content. And then what I do is I funnel them all back to my main channel like this. Okay. And because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say 5 here. So we have 5 SERP, 5 pages. Well, technically I can actually take up like a pretty sizable number of the search engine results pages for various search terms. It's kind of like gaming the system, to be honest. I mean, you know, like, I don't know, like everybody on planet Earth is starting to do an approach like this. So I'm not exactly sure if this will eventually not be okay or something. I mean, like fan pages, how are you going to regulate fan pages? I don't know. But the idea is, instead of you waiting for somebody else to make a fan page, you just make it yourself. Instead of waiting for somebody else to like clip your stuff, you just do it yourself. Instead of waiting for somebody else to make a motivational video or reel about you, you just do all that yourself. You pay editors that then add some sort of top line effect or something just to unify it and make everybody kind of know that it's like, it's you and it's a consistent style and it's really high quality. And then voila, you're good to go. So that is what I am doing. I have an editor that I've hired for this, and we are going to start. He sent me an example just yesterday. I don't know where it is. Give me 1 second to find it. Yeah, he sent me an update with an example just yesterday. This is it. So I don't know if you guys could see. Hopefully you can. But essentially, look at the quality of this editing. This is fantastic. The font's incredible. The opacity on the text is incredible. It's great from a design perspective. The lighting is good. The clipping, like the content that he's using to do this one particular thing, not as good just because I don't know. I don't think we had like I didn't have like a high quality file to give him. So we had to sort of like piece it together out of a few videos where I had my full face. But yeah, this is the sort of clip that we're going to be posting. Imagine 150 of those posted every month across 5 channels. So once every day per channel, basically. And I have 5 of them. That'd be pretty sweet, right? And now double that. So it's not just on Instagram. It's on Instagram and it's on YouTube Shorts. Then later, assuming that works, triple it. We're going to put it on TikTok. And then we're going to double the number of channels. So it's actually going to be 30 channels posting 1 piece of content per day. If you think about it, meaning by the end of the month, I'll have posted 900 pieces of content. If every one of those gets only 3% of people, right now, if I pay, let's say, I don't know, $4,000 or $5,000 or something like that per month, okay? And if I'm making This is a 0.039. So it's 3.9% of my margin. So if I'm willing to spend 3.9% of my margin, the question is, will this make me grow more than 3.9% faster? And if you do the math, my subscriber count on YouTube right now is going up by about 10,000 a month, 9,000 a month or so. 3.9%, that's 390 subs. So do I think that me posting 900 pieces of content per month are going to increase the total number of subscribers by more than 300? Yes. That would require all of my videos, every single one on average, to produce just 0.3 subscribers, which is crazy. So mathematically, that's going to work out really easily. And then on Instagram and stuff, like if you just take my daily or monthly growth and do the same math, yeah, it's a complete and utter no brainer. So I kind of wish I'd started this earlier. My main bottleneck is going to be content volume, like I talked to you guys about before, which is why I've now implemented a 15-minute call. If you make it to month 6 of Maker School, I'm going to make sure that like I'm looking pretty. And I told people that like, hey, if you take on this call, make your hair nice, because I may clip this for YouTube or Instagram. I just launched that earlier today, which is nice. So we'll see how many bookings I get over the course of the next little bit. And then, yeah, I think this is really going to be the key to growing the brand, taking it to the next level. The value there is it just requires no more marginal time. So I don't require any work in order to do this. I just pay an invoice and then upload a video to Google Drive at the end of every day. There was a problem with my OBS instance, but I've since worked that out thanks to Facundo, the guy I'm working on this stuff with. Apparently I just need to download a plugin called Stream Source or something, where I can record both. You see how right now I'm recording like a talking head in the bottom right-hand corner, and then I also have my screen share? Well, basically what this will allow me to do is it'll allow me at the end of my video to generate 2 files. One will be this, what you're seeing right over here, and then the other will be this. So I'll actually have this file and the screen share file with my talking head in the bottom right-hand corner. So that's the one I'm going to upload to YouTube. That's the one I'm going to upload to all of my sources. And then this talking head one is what he and his team of editors are going to get, which will enable him to just, chop it up and get really high quality of just my face. Which is ultimately what you need for these sort of short form reels. So the plan's coming together, boys. No A-team magic here, just a lot of consistent, hard daily effort. Hopefully you guys appreciated that little strategy deep dive. That's where I'm at today. Looking forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. Thanks so much. Cheers.